Rivets chasing a 5-run deficit headed to the bottom half of the 8th against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders here at Rivet Stadium. Rockford also chasing a playoff spot, half a game behind the Green Bay Booyah. Now just 6 games to go. It'll be Sam Beers, Colton Klein, Phil Highland at least to face Ryan Duffy. Spears drives this one into right field, very shallow. And Max Montgomery makes the play out there. And it's 1 pitch, 1 out for Duffy here in the 8th. So here's the 3-batter, Colton Klein. Rivets looking to snap an 8-game losing streak. It has been a rough one. We've seen a little bit of everything, except a win, of course. Tonight, Klein in the 3 spot is 1-for-3. He had a 3-hit game last night, a 13-4 loss at Wisconsin Rapids. Klein watches a strike. Colton, a very talented athlete at Carthage College at the D3 level in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Also started at quarterback. But this spring, football will be played at the same time as baseball. So Colton chose baseball over the gridiron, much to the dismay of his head football coach. But I'm sure Augie Schmidt, head coach at Carthage College, is thrilled. Schmidt, the head coach of 33 seasons up there. Klein watches strike 2. And talking with Colton, he says that everything he's learned from Schmidt has been oh so valuable. He has learned so much in his time there. That's not only credit to Schmidt, but credit to Klein. Some players are more coachable than others. I think we're seeing Klein reap the results of what he's learned in Kenosha here. Now it's 2-2 on him. Duffy on in relief of Ryan Ludis, who pitched 6 innings, allowed 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 5. We'll have another 2-2 to number 22. How about this crowd tonight at Rivet Stadium? There's nothing quite like a packed ballpark. Of course, packed as it can be due to COVID-19. Full on Klein now. The first sellout tonight for the Rivets of the summer. 1,200. Payoff pitch from Duffy. Chopper towards third. Nowitzki can't make the play. The Rivets have a base runner. We've got a guest on the broadcast for a brief moment. Fans may recognize the name. It's Zach Charbonneau, Fond du Lac Dock Spiders manager, who was ejected earlier. Zach, how you doing?
I'm doing well. We had some time to kill, so I figured I'd jump on with you guys. I've been able to admire your guys' work so far and really enjoyed it.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Just, I figured after you were ejected, I wasn't sure where you were going to go, and I guess you wandered your way up here?
I got to wander the friendly confines here in Rockford and see the game from a few different spots, but nothing was better than being up here.
It is a nice view, very close to home plate. First pitch to Phil Highland, check swing. And he did go around for a strike. Phil has reached twice, once on a hit by pitch and once on a single. Zach, you got to be happy with your team's effort tonight. They just keep on tacking runs here in the late stages.
Yeah, we were motivated after losing last night. Really wanted to come out here and do what we could to try to get a win. Not so much take care of business, but just have more intensity and effort. And JT has just done a phenomenal job. This was a there's still a lot left to go in this game, but this has been a tight one. It's been fun to watch. I mean, I don't like watching it, but it's been fun to watch.
0-1 to Highland inside. I'm sure you don't like watching it. What is that like after you get tossed from the game? You got to hand the reins to your assistant coaches. I'm sure you trust them, but there's probably a little bit of doubt, right?
No doubt. I obviously, I can't get into it too much. I respect these umpires, and they did what they had to do. I was, just fighting for my guys a little bit, but there's so much experience on our staff here in the Doc Spider dugout. CJ and Triv and Gaynor, they get to work right now, and it's fun to watch. Because I'm watching them go, and I'm kind of picking their brain.
As Colton Klein goes with a pitch and swipes second after Barnard
is a premier athlete. He's got a real potential to play professional baseball. There's a lot of scouts that have speaking very highly of Colton. And he's committed to playing football at Carthage, which is great. And I hope that somebody does give him the opportunity after his football career is over to play professional baseball.
I'm sure he's definitely getting some looks so far this summer. Rivets have really enjoyed his presence on the team, and there really are a lot of talented bats from junior colleges, a lot from Milwaukee Area Technical College, where you're the head coach.
Yeah, we, it was unfortunate circumstances, but, that happened, and we were able to get a few of our guys here in Rockford to compete, and, we try to send our best guys.
Highland grounds to shortstop. Durbin scoops and throws in time. And you want to talk about a guy that has been a nice late addition for you. It's Caleb Durbin. My goodness, we saw him last year in Rockford, and he was really good. And in Fond du Lac, he's been even more impressive.
He's been so important for us to just keep the ball moving. Obviously, if you look at up and down the stats on lineup the players we've had, there's been some tremendous players we've had so far this summer. And we lost a few of those guys, and then we were able to pick Caleb up, and it was just keeping it going. And he's so fun to watch. He's a gritty kid and super talented.
We have seen that talent play out tonight, not only on the offensive side, but the defensive side, making some flashy plays at shortstop. 0-1 on Jake Kleekamp, who is 2 for 3 with a double and a single. Swings through that one.
Jake's done a great job behind the plate tonight. I thought he's caught the Rivet pitchers really well. He is, the sequence of pitching he's used. Obviously, our guys have struck out a ton tonight. So, you gotta give the catcher some credit in that too.
Definitely managing the game well tonight. It's hard to work around the Doc Spiders bats. Kleekamp pops that one up to the right side. Ranging over is Robeson, and he can't make the play, and a young fan comes away with that one on the concourse. It's 0-2. Got 2 tonight. Got to give one away at that point.
Oh, yeah, the kids are buzzing out there today. Hey, you mentioned it earlier. We had some of those Sparks players out there with us for BP, man. There are a lot of future Division I baseball players on that team.
Yeah.
They're just 12 years old.
Getting those travel ball teams going, you never know. 0-2 pitch. Taken for a called strike 3. So the Rivets strand Colton Klein on second base here in the 8th. Zach, I'm not sure if you'll be back for the next half inning, but it's been nice chatting with you. As your team, the Doc Spiders, hold a 7-2 lead on the Rivets.
Thanks for having me.
Larry Larson here with Washington basketball head coach Eric Schermerhorn. Eric, big win tonight. Middle Illini champions in the regular season, Middle Illini tournament champions. What was that celebration like in the locker room?
Oh gosh, so the celebration. This celebration started a long time ago, fellas. I mean, I don't want to get emotional right now, but this thing started years and years ago when Devin Vanderheit was a little kid at camp. This celebration started when Mouncey was in 8th grade, and we saw this little pit bull out here in a 3-on-3 tournament that wanted to get in that lane and wanted to score. And then when T-Bass came to Washington, Man, he's been through so much adversity. The celebration started when we just saw him grow and how bad he wanted it. The celebration in the locker room, when you invest that hard, you also party that hard, and that was definitely a party inside there.
You know, you talk about how much you've been through overall with this team. This group is so close, but this year in particular, you know, take me through the emotions of this year. Certainly a roller coaster.
It has been a roller coaster. Basketball is the sport we play, but the things that have happened in this pandemic right now are the fun things were taken away. The team meal was taken away. Practicing as a team at Washington was taken away, which it had to be. We weren't allowed to be together. We had to do individuals. We weren't allowed to do the things that these kids are going to remember 30 years from now. And when it came back and we were allowed to play and they unified so quickly, holy cow, you could see how badly they wanted to be together the way they played on that floor. And I'm just so proud of us right now.
When you talk 30 years into the future, you know, this is a season without a state tournament, but you guys are Mid-Illini Conference tournament champions. What's going to come to your mind in 30 years when you think of this team?
I'm gonna say this, and this basketball team, we never called this the Mid-Illini tournament. We called this state. We did not make that public, but we were playing a state tournament. We've had some incredible teams here. Coach Brown's very first team here was a super sectional team that lost to Lincoln. An incredible basketball team that Matt Ross senior year, Dyricus Sims Edwards junior year went to the Final Four in state. Incredible basketball team. Benny Ryan and his crew, and Alec Peters as a junior. An incredible basketball team that lost in a sectional championship. I'm going to be very proud of our kids. I'm going to be really proud of Coach Brown's kids. This basketball team is elite when it comes to those teams. They are right there with them.
Certainly one of the best of all time here at Washington High School. Coach, thanks so much for everything this season, and congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thanks.
We thank you for joining us tonight, and we thank Uftring and Jake Weston for their partnership throughout the season. It's the Mid-Illini Conference semifinal. Winner moves on to tomorrow's championship game. Loser goes home for the season. And Joey, in that first quarter, it was a quick-moving one, a lot of tempo and a lot of pace.
A lot of tempo, a lot of pace, a lot of missed baskets too, but a lot of chances. You know, it was kind of run down the floor, get that quick shot, other team gets the rebound, okay, let's go the other way. So we'll see if maybe we see an increased efficiency here in the second quarter, but both teams have gotten good looks. Those misses are not for a lack of opportunities.
Patient possession for Dunlap to open the quarter. Doesn't pay off. DeGianardo can't get a hold on the board, and now Washington will have a chance to strike first.
And I tell you, you know, we've seen higher scoring first quarters this year, but we've also seen lower scoring first quarters and slower pace first quarters. So I would expect that tempo to continue, and I would expect that the score will continue to increase. I think both teams will heat up from the field.
McGinnis in the corner, going to work on Remmel. She has it tipped away, stifling D by the Eagles.
It's exactly what Dunlap needs to do defensively. They've got to force Washington to pick that ball up and pass it or take a bad shot.
Remmel, short. Now here's Wilson in transition. It's 2-on-1. She doesn't care, and she's fouled.
What a take there from Lucy Wilson. I mean, that looked like a track meet, you know. Two Dunlap sprinters and Lucy Wilson right there. And that just tells you that Washington wants to up that tempo, and they want to get to the basket. And Lucy, that was a great effort.
Wilson knocks down the first. She's averaging about 1.8 points per game so far this season. Shooting just 26% from the floor, but as long as you can get to the bucket, get to the stripe, and find a way, which she does there. She provides some key bench points for the Panthers, but she goes just 1 for 2 at the stripe. Washington ahead by 3. Sutter, another mid-range. That's her spot. Doesn't down it there. Now the Panthers slow it down, and it looks like McDougal is injured, Joey. That is not what the Panthers want to see. Looks like she's grabbing for her right leg, not putting much pressure on it. Being attended to by the trainer and Kim Barth.
Yeah, the trainer right there, and yeah, just I didn't see exactly what happened, but she was down there and just she has stopped and still on her feet. You know, you see her there, but certainly hope that she's okay and she will be helped to the bench, and that is not good. Obviously, foremost, you put the game aside and you hope that she is okay, the game irrelevant at the end of the day in that regard, but we've talked about how Washington was forced to play a couple of games this season without her. They'll have to get back to that. So in that regard, it'll be interesting to see how the next couple of minutes develop. But, of course, first and foremost, as she's now on the bench, the trainer is looking at her. We hope she's okay. We hope she returns. Do our best to pass along an update to you if we get one.
It's always tough when it looked like a non-contact thing, so you never know with those. Scrivener down low to Duncan. She's going to have to replace a lot of that production, and she does there, as Duncan is lighting it up early on. She's got 11. Dunlap can't get the response to go, and now Washington is really firing on all cylinders. Duncan ahead to the rack, blocked by Sutter.
Wow. And you can hear the Dunlap bench coming alive, and the Dunlap parents enjoyed that. Our feed, we have the computer set up right in front of us, and as we take a look at that, that was clean. And she celebrates afterwards. And Larry, we talked earlier how Lily Sutter can impact a game.
Georgia Duncan is impacting the game right now, though. She's got 14 of Washington's 19.
I don't think she she didn't like being blocked, we'll say that. Answers the call.
How does Sutter respond? It's Remmel, the baseline J. Tanaya Cummings can't come out with the rebound, and a melee ensues, resulting in a jump ball. It will go with the Panthers.
So Georgia Duncan has stepped up in the absence of Claire McDougal, and Washington did play a couple of games without Claire McDougal earlier this season, so from that standpoint, they've been in this situation before, and they kind of know what sets to run and know how to space the floor a little bit with the personnel they have. But they haven't really had to use anyone else but Duncan since that moment a couple of moments ago.
Washington working on the Dunlap zone defense. In case you're just joining us, the Middle Illini Conference semifinal. Winner goes to the title game tomorrow, and Duncan wants to be there badly. Wow, she is lighting it up, 17 points.
It is, I believe that's a 10-0 run or an 11-0 run for Washington. Check that in a minute, but
9-0 run in this second quarter. Dunlap is yet to score. Fassett tries to change that. She can't.
Now it's Washington that is controlling the tempo, and Duncan has the ball in hand here. We'll see how she plays it, and a foul called there. Dunlap a little flustered right now, I think.
They certainly are, Joey, and they'll get an opportunity to talk it over in the masked timeout. We'll get to that in a moment, but we want to take this break to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Jake